Welcome back to the channel, Coins Collection, where we explore the fascinating world of rare and historical coins from across the globe. Today, we're diving into one of the most legendary and elusive coins in United States history, the 1792 U.S. pattern quarter dollar, sometimes referred to as a trial or experimental piece. This coin is considered one of the earliest attempts at striking a quarter dollar for the young American nation. It is not just money, it is history in your hands. So let's uncover the story, the design, the rarity, and the value of this extraordinary coin, the birth of American coinage. To understand the importance of the 1792 pattern quarter, we need to go back to the very beginnings of U.S. coinage. The United States Mint was officially established in 1792, following the Coinage Act of 1792 signed into law by President George Washington. This act created the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia and authorized the production of coins in various denominations, from half cents all the way to $10 gold eagles. Interestingly, the law defined the quarter dollar, or 2 bits, as an official unit of currency, but the mint did not issue a regular circulating quarter until 1796. That left a gap. What about the years between 1792 and 1796? This is where pattern coins come in. What is a pattern coin? A pattern coin is essentially a prototype or test piece struck by the mint to experiment with designs, sizes, and metals. These coins were not intended for circulation but instead to showcase proposed designs or to evaluate the technical aspects of coinage. The 1792 quarter pattern falls into this category. It was struck in extremely limited numbers, and in some cases, possibly just a handful of examples exist today. Design of the 1792 pattern quarter. The design of the 1792 quarter pattern is a fascinating reflection of early American ideals. While multiple designs were experimented with in 1792, such as the half dime and the cent with silver plug, the quarter dollar had its own unique look. On the obverse, or front side, the coin typically featured an allegorical figure of liberty, a symbol of freedom and independence that would later dominate American coinage for more than a century. Her portrait is in a simple, almost classical style, with flowing hair, representing the youthful spirit of the new nation. The reverse of the coin often displayed an eagle, another powerful American symbol. The eagle represented strength, unity, and national identity. On these early pieces, the design was less detailed than later quarters, but its symbolism was unmistakable. These patterns were struck in copper, silver, or a combination of metals, depending on the prototype. Historical context. Why was this coin struck in 1792 but never released into circulation? The early U.S. Mint was still in its infancy. It lacked proper equipment, skilled engravers, and sufficient resources. Much of the experimentation in 1792 was about testing possibilities. The focus at the time was more on producing cents and half cents, which were urgently needed for everyday commerce. Higher denominations like the quarter dollar were not immediately prioritized. By the time the mint was fully operational, regular quarter production did not begin until 1796. This left the 1792 quarter as a pattern-only issue, making it one of the rarest experimental coins in American history. Rarity and collectability. The 1792 U.S. quarter pattern is incredibly rare. In fact, numismatists estimate that only a handful survive, some in museums and others in private collections. Unlike coins that had large mintage numbers, these experimental strikes may have been produced in single-digit or low double-digit quantities. Because of this extreme rarity, the 1792 quarter pattern is highly coveted among advanced coin collectors and institutions. Even when heavily worn or damaged, these coins attract massive attention at auctions. Auction records and value. So how much is a coin like this worth? The value of the 1792 U.S. pattern quarter can vary depending on its condition, provenance, and which specific variant it is. Some examples have surfaced in auctions and sold for hundreds of thousands to several $1 million. For example, other 1792 experimental coins, such as the 1792 half dime and the 1792 silver center cent, have sold in the multi-million-dollar range. The quarter pattern is in the same category of extreme rarity. Even a lower grade or imperfect specimen can be valued at over $500,000, while a higher quality piece could reach $2 to $3 million or more in today's numismatic market. Coins graded and authenticated by recognized services such as NGC or PCGS carry even greater premiums. You mentioned NNC, National Numismatic Certification, which is a grading service, but top collectors usually prefer the more widely recognized graders. Still, any authentic 1792 pattern quarter is beyond priceless in terms of history. Why collectors love it. There are a few key reasons why the 1792 quarter pattern is so revered. 1. Historical significance. It represents one of the very first attempts at striking a U.S. quarter, making it a cornerstone of American numismatic history. 2. Rarity. With so few examples surviving, owning one is like holding the Declaration of Independence in coin form. 3. Artistic value. The simple yet powerful design of liberty and the eagle embodies the spirit of the young republic. 4. Investment potential. These coins have consistently increased in value over time, making them both a historical treasure and a financial asset. Some of the 1792 patterns were struck using silver provided by Thomas Jefferson, who deposited his personal silver to support the early mints experiments. The 1792 Mint building in Philadelphia, known as the Ye Old Mint, was America's first federal building. These patterns may have been struck there, because the quarter was not struck for circulation until 1796. The 1792 pattern fills a fascinating gap in U.S. coinage history. The 1792 U.S. pattern quarter dollar is not just a coin, it's a piece of America's origin story. It tells us about a nation just beginning to establish its identity, experimenting with symbols, designs, and ideas that would shape its money for centuries to come. For collectors, it represents the pinnacle of rarity and significance. For historians, it's a tangible link to the founding generation. And for everyday people, it serves as a reminder of how far America's coinage has come since those experimental days of 1792. If you ever come across a coin that looks like this, it could be a life-changing discovery. But for most of us, simply learning about it and appreciating its story is enough to spark our fascination with history. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the world of rare coins. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into numismatic treasures from around the globe.